regular guy, you know. I'm not going to say he was a straight arrow. He was just a regular guy.
Joshua's family would like to be clear. His family stated his life was more than what is being shown. They stated he is missed and he is loved. Joshua was known for his silliness. He loved to laugh and joke, to put a smile on your face. He loved spending time with family and friends and being surrounded by the people he loved. If you were ever in a position to be in need and it was within his power, consider it done. Unfortunately, events would take place on September the 4th, 2017, that would change the lives of Joshua, Joshua family, and Joshua friends forever.
Well, the man that was shot and killed in that house right there behind me around 2:30 this afternoon has been identified as Joshua Sykes. I spoke with one of his best friends earlier today, and he said he was just devastated to hear the news.
I just couldn't believe it. Like, it just felt unreal, like my heart dropped.
JB Cameron has been friends with Joshua Sykes for more than 10 years. This is a picture of them together. Sykes is in the middle, Cameron is on the far left.
Like, he was a good dude, just always make you laugh. Just positive person.
Cameron says his murder makes no sense.
Ain't nobody really had no problems with it. He was just a good-hearted person. And I don't understand why somebody would do something like this to him.
Police were originally called to this house on Wilcox Avenue for an unknown problem. When they walked inside, they realized they had just entered a crime scene.
They found an adult male with a gunshot wound to the upper torso, and he was unresponsive. Medics pronounced him deceased at the scene.
The entire street was shut down as police interviewed neighbors. So far, no arrests and no suspects.
We do believe that this is an isolated incident, but we can't say for certain.
Police aren't sure if Sykes lived at the house, but he is from Portsmouth. Friends are still trying to piece together the possible motive for his death.
I have no clue, man. This city crazy. Like, there's just so much chaos going around here, man. So I really don't know, and I just hope they find justice, whoever did it.
If anyone out there has any information on this case, you're being urged to call Portsmouth Police.
Joshua Sykes was killed nearly 7 years ago. In that time, 2 people were arrested, and their trials kept getting delayed, with prosecuting and defense attorneys changing hands multiple times. Now, in court this morning, family members of Sykes heard the judge say the case against one of the murder suspects is now dismissed because it's taken too long for him to go to trial.
They're letting the murderer go free, and like my nephew didn't mean anything to society or to this family. That's hurtful.
10 on Your Side was there in September of 2017 when Sykes was found dead at a home along Wilcox Avenue. Soon after, 2 people were arrested and accused in his murder, brothers Alexander and Zebulon Weinschel. In court this morning, Alexander Weinschel appeared in person in a wheelchair, with his attorney saying he was injured in jail over the weekend. His attorney said with the amount of times his trial was continued over the past few years, his right to a speedy trial was violated. The many family members there devastated.
Been in here and they let him walk? My nephew deserved more than that. He was loved. That boy was a good boy. And he loved his family. Anything happened, he dropping it, he come to be for the family. This ain't right.
Just a regular guy, you know. I'm not going to say he was a straight arrow. He was just a regular guy.
The Commonwealth's attorney dropped the ball. They know the rules of the game. They know the time limits set on things. And the system just let us down.
Commonwealth's attorney said the pandemic was partially to blame. The judge sided with the defense, dismissing the case.
He was murdered. That's all I'm saying. They should have prosecuted somebody for this case.
As for the other suspect, Zebulon was supposed to stand trial last week, but that was withdrawn. There's a hearing this Friday to set a new trial for Zebulon.
Sykes was found deceased in his home near Norfolk Navy Shipyard on September 4, 2017. He'd been shot once in the head. The Weinschel brothers were arrested in Southampton County later that same day on drug and firearm charges, according to court records. They were soon linked to the Portsmouth slaying and charged in it several months later. Sykes' relatives said they were upset with how the case has been handled since the beginning and were particularly angry with the Portsmouth Commonwealth Attorney Office and Chief Prosecutor Stephanie Morales. A spokesperson for Morales' office did not have an immediate response and or comment on Monday. Their office didn't do their job, said Sykes' uncle Kenneth Gainey. They dropped the ball and they know they dropped the ball. She needs to go. Gainey and his sister Vicky Gainey said prosecutors didn't keep them adequately informed as the case dragged on. Kenneth Gainey said he frequently come to the courthouse to try to find out where things stood. All these years, I thought this would eventually work out. We'll get justice, Vicky Gainey said. But all prosecutors did was shuffle it along, and now look what happened. They were too lazy to file any necessary paperwork, and yet they're still getting a paycheck. In felony cases in Virginia in which a defendant is ordered jail time until trial, the law states that a trial must be held within 5 months of the indictment date unless the defendant waives their right to a speedy trial. Such waivers are frequently made so that the defense attorney can have enough time to prepare, and further trial date continuances are also common. But in Weinschel's case, there was no record of him ever waiving his right to a speedy trial. Munn said, nor was there any record of him being arraigned. Munn and Merman didn't get involved in the case until October, when Weinschel's family hired him. Before that, he'd been represented by 2 different sets of court-appointed attorneys, the lawyer said.
We placed our faith in them, and we expected them to stand up behind Joshua. And like I said, we were finding out that that's not the case.
One of several loved ones of Joshua Sykes protesting what they see as a failure of justice. Initially, 2 brothers, Alexander and Zebulon Weinschel, were charged in Sykes' killing. Alexander's case was thrown out earlier this week because prosecutors took too long to get him to trial. Sykes' uncle says Commonwealth's attorney Stephanie Morales is personally responsible.
Their office has dropped the ball. She has did a horrible job by letting felony cases being dismissed. She's in charge of that office. She's responsible. So I would like to see her recall, dismissed from her position.
In a statement, Morales says office attorneys are required to follow protocol, including having command of the standing of cases. Where attorneys do not follow directives resulting in abnormalities, offending parties are held accountable. Her attorneys pointed to the pandemic as part of the reason for the delay, but the crime happened more than 2 years before the pandemic took hold.
You should be prepared. You can't use the pandemic. It's not an excuse.
Alexander Weinschel gave previous testimony implicating his brother Zebulon.
He heard a shot, exit out of the room and seen his brother holding the gun. He said his brother told him, if you don't get the safe and keep your mouth shut, you're gonna be next.
If Alexander refuses to testify against his brother Zebulon, his previous testimony can be used as long as it was under oath and subject to cross-examination. The tentative time for a trial, a murder trial for Zebulon, now set for September.
Hello, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Karen Classified. I hope you guys comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. I also hope you leave your comments down within the section below. Here we have a story in regards to Joshua Sykes. This is very sad and it's unfortunate. You have 2 brothers who have been nothing but complete menaces take this young man's life. Now, mind you, they were not doing the right thing. And I do believe when you align yourself up and dabble in certain things, you're kind of more susceptible to having bad things happen to you. Well, prior to this day, these same brothers had the police on a highway speed chase. They found GUNs on them and drugs at that time. Speed up to the date of Sykes losing his life, they were out to serve them, to go pick them up, and they found more GUNs, more drugs, and stolen property. In my opinion, this was just an open and shut case. It should not have been dragged on as long as it was. But it did. And due to that happening, the case has been dismissed and they cannot retry him. This is sad. He definitely got away with taking someone's life. Now you have his brother on trial. And I'm paying attention to the wordplay. They're stating if they filed the right paperwork and the brother decided not to testify, they could still move on and use his testimony as evidence. Well, that's a big if, because if they drop the ball On the other paperwork, in my opinion, there's potentially room that they didn't do what they need to do in order to be able to use the brother's testimony. And it's looking as if they're both are going to get away with taking this boy's life. The other brother, Zebulon, he's not due to go to court until September of 2024. You guys, I don't know. This is sad and this is definitely unfortunate. And I just would like to get you guys' opinion. In my opinion, I believe when it comes to taking someone's life, I understand the rights to a speedy trial, but why are we releasing them back onto the streets to take someone else's life? To then follow the proper protocol? The guy made a statement. He made a statement. They were in possession of the stolen goods. And just like that, they get to walk away. My heart goes out to this family because I'm sure they were waiting for their day in court. And in their hearts believe that they were going to get the justice that they wanted and that they deserve. However, due to the negligence of the prosecutor office, I don't know if that day is going to come. Again, you guys, this is very sad. This is unfortunate. My prayers truly go out to the family because I couldn't imagine knowing that we know you guys took their life and we know now we're not going to get our day in court. This is sad. What are your thoughts, you guys? Do you think that being in jail, which I do in my belief, he was there long enough for them to do what they needed to do in order to get this case going. Do you think that the prosecutor that is over the case should be penalized or something should be done if they don't file the proper paperwork, if they don't do what they need in order to be within the guidelines? Do you think that when it comes to taking someone's life, they shouldn't be able to just walk away and not be retried? Do you think that a long time ago, maybe they shouldn't even been out? Do you feel like it's as if they received a slap on the wrist? Because my thing is, if nothing more, you being a convicted felon and found with a firearm should have been enough for them to at least start with that and stick it to them and then come back to the case. I don't know, you guys. What are your thoughts in this entire situation? Again, my heart goes out to Joshua Sykes and his family. My prayers are with his uncles and aunts and his friends. Everyone loved him. It's sad. It's unfortunate. And his uncle stated he wasn't a straight, we know he wasn't all the way just this angel, but this is our family member. And I felt that. Again, you guys, I hope you all comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. I hope you leave your comments down within the section below. And until the next video, you guys, I hope everyone stays safe and take care.